Aloha everyone. I am in Erie, Pennsylvania. My daughter is graduating from high school and I'm going to her baccalaureate tonight. And then tomorrow is the actual graduation, then her party is the next day. Exciting times, wow. 2 kids now, out of high school, all done with that phase. It's so amazing. And my name's Dr. Matt, for those of you who don't know me. And if you like what you hear, we have a ton more content on YouTube. I've been doing this now for about 40 years. Our company's been helping to empower people around the planet now since 1982 and bringing you some powerful concepts, powerful ideas, and sometimes some very simple ones. And today's a really simple idea. And the idea has to do with saying, I'm sorry. Man, people get so programmed into apologizing for everything, even when you really shouldn't be apologizing for something, and that can be problematic. Now, let me back up for a moment. I want to share with you, I'm a doctor of integrative psychology, and that's a fancy way of saying I study the mind-body connection. And for the research that I did to become a doctor, I did research on the Hawaiian forgiveness process, not the Hawaiian I'm sorry process. The Hawaiian forgiveness process, which is a part of letting go of baggage and healing up things with another individual, and validated that the actual process itself works. Not the prayer, the actual process, which the prayer was derived from. And at our live trainings, we teach this. We actually teach people in the live training how to do it with themselves, and very powerful. But anyway, to be long story short, from a research perspective, it gets rid of your grudge. It gets rid of wanting to get back at someone and avoid them. So I'm not talking about forgiveness. I'm talking about the term I'm sorry when there is no need to say I'm sorry. Man, a lot of people just all of a sudden jump right to it. It's not even your responsibility, and yet you're saying I'm sorry. And the problem with that is that it can begin to get the impression out there to other individuals and to yourself that you're doing people pleasing, that you're actually people pleasing, and that you're basically using a big word, acquiescing, like placating someone else and claiming that you're sorry for something when you're actually not, which that's a second issue with it, is that if you say you're sorry and you're actually not sorry, you're lying. You're lying. Now, they may not know that you're lying, but you know that you're lying. And the problem with that is that you're setting your word up for you. For you as an individual, you are setting your word up as not being very powerful. Like if you're literally saying sorry for something and you're not sorry and you know that you had nothing to do with it, that's a big issue in and of itself, because the lie begins to diminish the power of your word to yourself. Which means the next time you say to yourself, here's something that I want, your unconscious mind sits there and goes, I don't think you're being truthful. You're not truthful every time you say I'm sorry. So cutting it out for that reason is very, very important. The last thing is that when you actually say I'm sorry to someone else and you don't mean it, and if they do pick up on it, the dishonesty that comes from it makes them not believe you when you're actually meaning something that you're saying. It's this programming that we got that it's better off to just say I'm sorry and to move on. In actuality, what you need to do is have the deeper conversation. You need to have the deeper conversation as to what occurred, avoid doing this I'm sorry thing, because of the problems that are involved with it. Now, here's the deal. It's such a big topic that on the 5th, I'm going to be doing a 1-hour webinar on this. I'm going to be doing a 1-hour webinar on the problems with I'm sorry and what should you do instead to help build up confidence and to have the deeper conversation with someone so that you can begin to elevate in your life. I'm going to do a whole webinar on it. I think it's at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. You can check our Facebook page out, check our YouTube live. We're going to be able to get you the links and all the information and whatnot. And if you like this, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel. There's a ton of information on that. And those of you that are going to be on the webinar, I look forward to seeing you there. If not, I'll see you all next week. Okay? Aloha, ahui ho.